good afternoon. Can you hear us?
Good afternoon, ma'am. I can hear you, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
You're able to hear us quite clearly?
Voice is breaking. It's not clear.
Voice is breaking.
Yes. No. No, now it's clear, ma'am.
Now it's
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
okay. So you have done Electronics and Communications BTech, plus you have done MA in Political Science, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes.
And both IAS and IFS are your first two choices, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, the question is, tell me one innovative way in which you can use your electronics and communication knowledge to give a development message. Think of something new rather than what has, been used so far that we are used to. Can you think of something new that you can use for spreading, say, one development message or a law and order message, whatever it is? How will you use it?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Ma'am, we can use electronics clubbed with artificial intelligence in, in law and order situation or during the bandobast. Ma'am, for example, right now we had Mahakumbh celebration at the Prayagraj. And ma'am, to manage the crowd effectively, electronics coupled with AI was used. For example, the crowd density was calculated based upon the electronic sensors, artificial intelligence algorithm, and whenever the crowd density was more than 3 people per meter square, they have automatically generate the alerts. So that the police or the law enforcement agency at the ground can manage the crowd effectively. In this way, we can use electronics coupled with artificial intelligence to manage the bandobast in a better manner.
Now, could this have been used to control the rush at the railway station in which so many people died? So how can you use that very, very fast? Because this requires something which reacts very quickly. You need to get information very quickly. You need to get information out very quickly.
Yes, ma'am. Well, surely it can be used at the railway station. For example, if we employ the CCTV camera that are AI enabled, they will simultaneously calculate the person density at a particular area. And suppose if it is more than the threshold of that particular area, we can instantly we can put a message to the public announcement system, or whoever is posted at the railway station platform, they can get a message via walkie-talkie so that they can transfer the person to the holding area, or they can restrict the entry at the railway station, and the crowd can be kept outside if the people pressure is more inside the railway station.
Okay. The other thing is, three-language formula. What is your view? Now, this is one thing which is now causing a lot of dissension between North and South, right? Now, the southern states are resenting the imposition of Hindi. And if it had not been imposed, they were quite willing via films and music and things like that to learn Hindi. In fact, that's how Hindi spread in the South. But there is a feeling of discrimination. In the northern states, they don't adopt any of the southern languages, but Hindi is imposed on them. So, comment on this.
And in my opinion, language is very close to the culture of a particular region. And when it comes to three language issue, it's a very complicated matter between the North and South, as also highlighted by you, ma'am. But I feel, when it comes to the new education policy, there is no mention that Hindi should be the one of the language. It has left it open to the state that they can adopt any three languages, provided two language should be native to India, ma'am. That is number 1 point. Second, ma'am, in my personal opinion, three-language formula should not be a means to impose Hindi upon the southern statement because it will create a further rift between the north and south, and it will divide the north and south region. And then third, there are other ways, as also highlighted by you, through which we can promote the Hindi, for example, popular media, songs and movies. And then there is also our ASA report, which I read in the newspaper, that around 25% of the youth, they are not able to understand the basic literature books in their regional language also. Ma'am, when 21/4 of the youth are not able to understand in their regional language, it will add further burden on them if we ask them to learn new language. So before going to the three language, first of all, we need to increase the learning outcome in the vernacular language, ma'am.
And what about asking the northern states to learn some South Indian language? There has been no progress towards that.
Sorry, there is some network problem, ma'am.
No progress in the north towards learning any of the South Indian languages. Now, what will you do to encourage this adoption? It's not.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question, ma'am?
In the north,
Yes,
there has been no attempt to learn South Indian languages. Now, what would you suggest to popularize at least one South Indian language in the north?
Ma'am, it would be a good idea if the North State adopt one of the southern language, ma'am. But I feel personally that the desire to learn a new language should come from within. We cannot impose any language. So we can give the option to the student that they can adopt any of the southern language, Telugu, Tamil, Malayali, but we should not impose it. Let it be a voluntary decision taken by the student.
And maybe like the Hindi movies encourage people to study Hindi in the south, maybe popularizing the Telugu or Malayalam movies in the north may encourage them to at least become familiar with the language.
Yes, ma'am, that can be a possible measure to increase the language. And ma'am, one more point that right now we are living in the age where there is a lot of migration from south to north, from north to south. And when people are going for jobs in, for example, if a person from north is going to south, he or she will automatically learn the language of that particular area. And same is the case with a person who is coming to north from south. He can learn it voluntarily because it will be the demand of their work profile also. Ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Kumar.
Okay, so suppose you were the Delhi Chief Secretary, two problems of Delhi and how you would address them.
Okay. Sir,
or
first
try to
problem
push
is
towards
of the air
addressing
pollution,
it.
sir. And second, especially in the eastern part or northeastern part of the Delhi, there is a problem of congestion, congestion and traffic jam. These two problems, sir, I would like to take upon. Sir, when it comes to the air pollution, there is a study by IIT Kanpur, according to which that 20% of the pollution is by the vehicular emission. So, sir, for this, we can promote solution like e-vehicles. We can provide last mile connectivity when it comes to the public transportation, sir. At the same time, when there is the reasons like stubble burning, for that, I believe that we need to have an NCR level planning with all the chief secretaries sitting together, and they can reach to a coordinated solution for the problems such as stubble burning, sir.
You see, in the case of Ukraine, the US has been saying that there are certain compromises and major compromises you should make, but in the case of Taiwan, they don't say so.
Yes, sir.
So, why so, number one, and what do you think should be their response on Taiwan?
Okay. Sir, when it comes to the current president of the United States of America, Mr. Trump, sir, in Trump 1.0 also, most of his attention was with China, the Indo-Pacific, where the Trump administration considered the real threat to American hegemony is China and not Russia. And so that is the reason they, for Trump, maybe the Ukraine crisis and the Middle East is more of a distraction. So they want to bring American resources out from the Ukraine, and they want to focus more upon the Indo-Pacific and more upon the threat that is emanating from China. And so when it comes to China, USA is trying to stop China in the very first island chain. And that first island chain, Taiwan plays a very important role if USA want to contain China. And so that is the reason USA is not speaking anything upon the Taiwan issue, sir.
Okay. Taiwan, other than the geopolitical matters, is Taiwan important in any other way?
Yes, sir, because the 21st century will be the century of artificial intelligence, and Taiwan is very powerful when it comes to chip manufacturing. And the major threat that China is posing to USA is from the artificial intelligence in chip manufacturing also. And due to that, Taiwan is very important in USA metrics of technological power because of the chip manufacturing capability it has.
Okay, thank you very much.
Abhishek, you are now in Indian Police Service.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are your thoughts on some facets of police reforms?
Yes, sir. Sir, police needs several reforms, sir. In my opinion, sir, the first and foremost reform that police need is the political insulation. And for that, sir, we need to implement the Prakash Singh judgment. For example, the establishment of State Security Commission and the Police Complaint Authority, amongst others, sir. Second reform, in my view, sir, is related to the personal and human resource management. Sir, I am right now at NPA, and we had a chance to visit one of the police stations in the Hyderabad city. So when I went there, I saw that even we are not providing the simple thing like bed to the constable at their barracks, sir. And workload is very huge, and because of that, the motivation to do work is very low especially among the constable rank that constitute around 86% of the police force, sir. Third reform, sir, should be at the police station level again, because there are no amenities for the public, and it is the first point of interaction with the general public when it comes to police. And working upon the police station is very important. For that, sir, it is very necessary that whenever a person is come with his or her complaint, police officers should listen to their complaint, and there should be no delay in registration of the FIR. And number 4 point, sir, in my point of view, is the adoption of technology. That will improve the efficiency of police also, and it will also improve the trust with the community in general.
Tell me, why is it taking so long? I mean, we have to have a uniform civil code in our country.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you please repeat the question, sir?
No, why is it taking so long to have a uniform civil code in our country? I think only 2 states have it now. I think Goa and Uttarakhand.
Sir, when it comes to uniform civil law, it's the constitutional mandate under the Article 44. And sir, constitution maker is also have the point that until and the situation is not very correct for implementation of the UCC, we should not have it. And sir, right now I feel that considering the diversity that India have across the religion, language, we should have some gradual step toward the UCC, and that is why, sir, we are taking much time to implement UCC rather than the approach was to take the gradual step. For example, sir, Supreme Court have some judgment of the triple talaq also and also the laws related to maintenance has been extended to the Muslim women. So, sir, till now the approach was more of a gradual in nature, and that is the reason we took time for having UCC.
Okay. My last 2 questions pertain to the domain of international affairs. Why is the dollar getting so strong, US dollar?
Okay. Sir, during the COVID time, sir, USA reduced the interest rate because of the excess liquidity that USA investor have. They have invested a lot outside the USA market. But sir, then due to the inflation, USA did the cutting in the interest rate. And that is the reason most of the investors are putting their money back into the USA. and that is the foremost reason of strengthening of dollar, because the demand has suddenly increased.
Okay. My second question related to this is, can there be an alternative currency to dollar in the future?
Yes, sir. So there are some initiative. For example, BRICS is trying. China is also trying to replace the dollar in the future. So, but I feel that considering the strength of dollar that it has right now, it will be very difficult to replace dollar with some other transaction mechanism in near future. But yes, sir, there are steps. As I said earlier, sir, like BRICS in China, they are making and they are trying to replace it, but it will take time, sir. It will. I cannot see it happening in the near future.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Okay, Abhishek, you are in the National Police Academy presently,
Yes, sir.
and have you been allotted your cadre?
Yes, sir. I allotted to Punjab cadre, sir.
You are going to Punjab cadre. Congratulations.
Yes.
And have you actually been in the field or just have been training?
Sir, it's only the second month of my training, sir. I will complete the third month in the March.
Okay. So tell me, normally police, you yourself said that police faces a perception problem.
Yes, sir.
And you are also fond of a lot of crime thriller movies and web series. What kind of police officers would you like to be associated with? Do you have a role model? Maybe real life, maybe even from the world of cinema or fiction.
Sir, my role model, sir, after joining the policing, my perspective towards the crime thrillers have also changed. And sir, now I prefer to have a role model from the real life instead of the cinema. So earlier my views were different, but after getting training for 2 months, I feel, and sir, I will like to have a role model from the real life, sir.
Who is the role model? Do you have any as of now?
Sir, I read about Ribeiro, sir. Sir, I also read about the Ajit Doval, sir. I am very much inspired from these two personalities, sir.
Okay. In your view, do ends ever justify means? Because in police, this is an existential problem.
Yes, sir. Sir, generally there should be a congruence between the ends and means, sir. We cannot compromise means for the ends, sir. But there will be some emergency situation where we need to act immediately. Otherwise, the larger public will be at risk, sir. So in my point, generally one should have a congruence between the means and end. But if there is a legitimate need in the interest of larger public, or say, for example, in the need of national security, sir, we may think about getting result also.
Okay. What do you know about wolf warrior diplomacy of China? Have you heard this term?
So can you please repeat, sir?
Wolf warrior diplomacy of China.
Sir, no, sir, I haven't heard about it, sir.
Okay. Cricket is your interest area. India is playing Champions Trophy and there is some kind of, controversy or some contentious opinion that India is getting an unfair advantage. And people are saying India is like, in a sense, Trump of the ICC. Is India a bully?
Sir, I don't think, sir, India is getting any advantage at Champions Trophy, sir. First of all, Dubai is not our home stadium. And again, sir, the event is organized by ICC and Pakistan is the host, sir. So ultimately, whatever conditions will be there, it will be a decision of the ICC and India will not have any say into that, sir. And earlier also, sir, we have a very clear stated objective that we will not go to Pakistan. But then it was up to Pakistan where they will have to adjust Indian match, and it is a venue suggested by ICC and Pakistan itself. And India did not have any role into that also, sir.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Abhishek, you please tell me, as a police officer, how would you engage with the youth to tell them that yes, they should not they should not follow the path of crime, and that they become a support structures for the police and help them to maintain law and order.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we can do 2 or 3 steps for this. First of all, as a police officer, ma'am, we have a lot of opportunity where we can interact with youth. For example, we can go to school. We can also have a awareness campaign at the college where we can speak upon this fact that how one should contribute to our nation rather than choosing the path of crime. Ma'am. Second, ma'am, right now social media can also be used to engage with the youth in a constructive manner, where we can raise the awareness about how we should lead a life where we can follow our fundamental duties. And third, ma'am, despite doing all this, as a police officer, we can also create some amount of deterrence in the society, especially among the youth, that yes, you are free to do the good things, you are free to live as a friendly citizen, but if you do something wrong, if you adopt the part of the crime, then law is there to take care of you, ma'am.
How will you add?
Also be created.
How would you add the parameter of women's safety to this talk?
Yes, ma'am. Women's safety, which should also be a parameter of this talk, because right now we have the problem like eve teasing. There are the problem of rape, which is generally the youth is also involved into these crimes. So, sufficient level of awareness should also be created upon the concern of the women's safety, ma'am. And ma'am, for that, police can also conduct the self-defense seminars or the events for the women to have safety and the legal awareness among the girls so that they can come and they can register the complaint to police, because most of the time
You have
there is a
yourself.
fear of secondary victimization, because of which women generally deter to come to the police. And I can also work on that aspect so that there should be a confidence among the women to come forward and register the complaint with the police.
They should have a very friendly and, they should have the trust in the police stations. You have yourself volunteered for the NCC and the NSS. How has it really impacted your own personality? And do you think that in India it is time that we really make these things little compulsory, maybe for a year or so?
But surely NCC and NSS have imparted a lot of values to me. For example, after being a volunteer in NCC and NS, I learned how we should conduct ourselves when it comes to discipline, ma'am. I learned a lot of teamwork also. I learned the quality of leadership also, because in NCC I remember one has to be a squad commander and you have to do command, and for that you need to have a very good interpersonal relation with all your squad mate also. So ma'am, these things impacted my personality to a larger extent. And when it comes to the question of making NCC or NSS compulsory, but I feel that these two organizations should not make compulsory, because until an unless person do not have motivation to join, he will not adhere to the values of the NCC and NSS.
Okay.
Rather than making them compulsory, but I need that there is a need to generate more and more awareness about the benefits of NCC and NSS, so that the enrollment should be voluntarily rather than making it compulsory.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek.
Okay, we've finished with your interview.